Hi everyone, how are you doing? So we're just gonna get started in a child's pose. So I like to start with the knees far apart. Some people like to have the knees in close together. So whatever your body's feeling today, just slowly come into your child's pose, reaching fingertips onto the mat in front of you. And just relaxing here, letting your body melt into the earth. Noticing the breath. Notice the inhales and the exhales. Noticing how your body is feeling today. Is it sore? Is it weak? Do you feel strong? And however you're feeling, just allowing yourself to be, leaving any stressors of your day behind, focusing instead on the sensations in the body and your breath. Breathing here, inhale through the nose, and exhale, sigh it out through the mouth, sinking deeper into the mat. A couple more breaths here. Letting go. And on the next inhale, reaching your fingertips over to the right side of the mat, keeping your pelvis steady. And exhale, sinking that left shoulder towards the mat. And on the next inhale, shifting towards the other side, the left side of the mat, keeping the pelvis steady. Inhale. And exhale, sinking that right shoulder down towards the mat, feeling that opening in the right shoulder, the outer side of that right shoulder. And on the next inhale, coming back to center, making your way to tabletop position. So shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, and taking a deep breath in. Inhale, dip the belly, dip the chest, gazing forward. And exhale, rounding out that upper spine, cat. Inhale, cow, dip the belly, bringing the chest through the arms, gazing forward. And exhale, rounding it out. Really get into those shoulder blades. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. Coming into a little bit of a freestyle. I like to move from side to side, looking at one hip, then the other, whatever feels good in your body. It doesn't have to take any particular form. Just try to keep it symmetrical if you can. And on the next inhale, reaching right fingertips forward, left toes back, tucking the core into the spine. Inhale, reach, and exhale, knee to nose, tap. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, knee to nose, tap. Once more, inhale, extend, and exhale, meeting back in tabletop position, switching sides. Inhale as you reach your left fingertips forward, right toes back, tucking navel into spine. And exhale, knee to nose, tap. Inhale, extend. It's okay if you're a bit shaky here. And exhale, knee to nose, tap. One more here. Inhale, reaching out. And exhale, back to tabletop position. Meeting in downward facing dog, you can step the palms forward a couple inches, tuck the toes under if they're not already, and lifting the hips up and back into your first downward facing dog. I like to pedal up the heels here, feeling the sensation in the back of the calves. Whatever feels good, rocking the hips from side to side. And from this place of mobility, eventually finding some stillness in your downward facing dog. Your goal here is to keep a straight line of energy all the way from the wrists up to the tops of the sit bones. It's okay to keep a slight bend in the knees, depending on where your practice is. Reaching heels of the feet towards the mat. Breathing here. Notice how your body feels in this first downward dog. Allowing yourself to breathe and just to be. Inhaling forward into plank. And exhale back, downward facing dog. One more like that, rolling forward into plank on the inhale. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right toes reach up towards the sky, three-legged down dog. And exhale, bringing knee to nose and stepping that right foot in between the palms. If it doesn't reach all the way, you can scooch that right foot in between the palms and dropping that back knee on the mat. Inhale, arms reach up, low lunge. And try to relax the shoulders down the back. We tend to keep a lot of tension in our shoulders and our traps, but just relaxing the shoulders down the back. Strong arms, strong front leg, feeling that opening in front of the left hip. Breathing here. And on the exhale, reaching fingertips on either side of that right foot and taking the hips back. Ankle flexes, toes point towards the sky. Inhale forward, low lunge, feeling it in front of that left hip. And exhale, taking it back. If you want to add the arms, you can. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Inhale. Strong, stable core and body. And exhale. Holding in this back position to get a full, deep opening of the hamstrings. And exhale, planting that foot down, planting the palms on either side of that foot, stepping back into your plank. And from here, taking your chaturanga, knees up or down, whatever is more comfortable for you. Bending the elbows to 90 degrees. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Knees lift off the mat if you're doing the up facing dog. And exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Breathing here. Taking a few moments to absorb that side, and we're going to move on to the next side. Inhale, left toes reach up. Three-legged down dog. And exhale, stepping that foot in between the palms. You can scooch it up again. Dropping that back knee. Inhale, low lunge, arms reach up. Feeling that opening in front of the right hip this time. Arms are strong. Back and shoulders are relaxed. Core is strong. Holding here. And on the next exhale, reaching fingertips down and shifting the hips back as your toes and ankles point up towards the sky. Inhaling forward, low lunge. You can add in the arms. And exhale back. With your inhales and exhales, inhale forward and exhale back. Moving at your own pace with your own breath. And exhale back. And inhale, planting that foot, planting the palms on either side of that foot. Curl the toes under, step back into plank. And once more, coming into your chaturanga, knees up or down. Exhale, bend the elbows to 90. Inhale, straighten the arms, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, lifting the hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Breathing here in this down dog. Noticing how your body feels after a couple of those exercises and continuing to tune in to the sensations in the body. Another round here. Inhale, right toes reach up towards the sky. And exhale, knee to nose tap. Inhale, right toes up towards the sky. And exhale, stepping that foot in between the mat once more, or in between the feet, hands once more. And inhaling up, hands up towards the sky, high lunge here. So you're on the balls of the back feet. And holding this pose strong in your high lunge, shoulders down the back. Gazing forward. And exhale, arms by the side, palms face down, leaning forward, runner's lunge. Inhale, arms reach up, high lunge. And exhale, runner's lunge. So you're forming a straight line, 45 degrees. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, leaning forward, runner's lunge. Bringing the hands to heart center, we're slowly gonna come into a warrior three. If you need to step the back toes a bit closer, you can do so, and slowly floating the back legs up as you shift weight into that front foot. Coming here into your warrior three, trying to parallel the body with the mat, with the ground. Trying to square the hips off so they're facing towards the ground. And holding here for 2 and 1. Swinging that leg like a pendulum, bringing that left ankle over top the right thigh. Coming into a standing figure 4. Opening up that left hip. Slowly coming into a small seat. Hips down, facing back, knee directly over the ankle, making sure that left ankle is flexed to protect the left knee, and holding here. Whew. You got this. Breathing here. And on the exhale, diving forward, palms to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, planting the palms down, stepping back into plank, and coming through, again, your chaturanga, knees up or down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a small breather here before moving on to the next side. You can come onto the knees, into your child's pose. Knees together or apart. For relaxation, I like to keep my knees together and reach my fingertips towards my toes. You're welcome to try it out if you wish. And continuing to breathe throughout this practice. Making your way back to your downward facing dog. Hips up and back. We're going to move on to the left side. So left toes up towards the sky. And exhale, knee to nose tap. Inhale. Toes reach up towards the sky. And exhale, stumping that left foot in between the palms. Scooching that foot up in between the palms. And inhale. Arms reach up towards the sky. Breathing here. Strong core, relaxing the shoulders down the back. Relaxing the trap muscles as we keep the arms and core strong. And exhale, leaning forward, runner's lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, leaning forward, runner's lunge. Inhale, high lunge. And exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, hands to heart center. And slowly we're going to make our way into warrior three. Again, you can step that back leg a little bit closer if you need to. And slowly lifting or floating that back leg up as we shift our weight into that left leg. It's okay if you're a little bit wobbly, feel a bit shaky. You're just working your body. Thanking your body for carrying you through these balancing poses. And on the next exhale, swinging that right leg up like a pendulum and bringing that right ankle to rest on the left thigh, shifting the hips back, coming into a seated figure four, standing seated figure four. Breathing here, noticing your heart beating in your chest. Flexing that right ankle to protect the knee, feeling that opening in the right outer thigh, outer hip. And exhale, diving forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, planting the palms, stepping your feet back, coming through your chaturanga, knees up or down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, lifting the hips up. And back, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, rolling onto the balls of the toes, bending the knees and stepping the feet forward into Dandasana. Stretching out the legs here, placing the palms by the sides, by the hips. Fingertips can face backward or frontward. I prefer front, but whatever is more comfortable in your body. I'm breathing here, noticing your breath, noticing how your body feels in this seated pose, staff pose. And on the next inhale, arms reach up, and exhale, folding forward at the hip. So you can keep a slight bend in those knees if your hamstrings do not allow for you to reach towards your feet, or you can even reach towards your calves or your ankles, wherever you feel an opening in the backs of your legs, the calves and the hamstrings, and staying here, continuing to breathe oxygen into those muscles. And slowly lifting back up into staff pose, we're gonna point the toes, or point the ankles rather, and flex the ankles. Again, point and flex. You might hear some cracking. Point and flex. Just drawing some circles with those ankles. You can spread them mat distance apart. That's easier. Hearing some cracks, switching directions. Doing the same with the toes, pointing and flexing, keeping the back straight. We don't often pay too much attention to our feet, but they deserve some tender love and care as well. And bringing the feet back together, we're going to come into a half lotus. So bringing that foot, the right foot, up to the left hip crease. If that's okay on your ankle, keep it there. If it's not, you can bring it into Janu Sirsasana legs. So bringing it closer towards the knee and just rolling that ankle around in one direction, repeating in the other direction. And coming into Ardha Chandrasana, planting that right foot outside that left thigh, hugging that left knee in, and reaching right fingertips towards the back as you gaze past that right shoulder, feeling that opening in your right outer thigh, your right outer hip, rather. Breathing into this spinal twist. And coming back to center, unwinding and switching sides. So bringing that left foot into the right hip crease or over top the right thigh if that's not comfortable in your ankle. And drawing some circles with that right ankle as well. Feeling those cracks and crannies. And switching directions. So if you're going clockwise, go counterclockwise. Massaging those toes as well. And on the next inhale, planting that left foot on the outside of that right thigh, hugging that left thigh in with your right arm, reaching left fingertips behind you, gazing past the left shoulder. Ardha Chandrasana, Ardha Matsyendrasana on the other side. Feeling that opening in the outer left hip. You can close the eyes here if you need. And on the next exhale, slowly unwinding, reaching toes out in front of you. Inhale and exhale again, reaching forward. Noticing how the hamstrings feel the second time around. And slowly exhaling, bending one knee and then the other. We're going to come into Navasana boat pose, so straightening the back, activating the back muscles, activating the core, leaning back 45 degrees, lifting the hips up. Boat pose. You can reach your palms up, your hands forward for a bit more of a challenge, or you can keep the hands behind the thighs here by the knees. If you can, straightening those legs, that's really hard for me, but you can practice by doing one foot then the other. Or you can stay still here in this Navasana boat pose. 2 more deep breaths here. And slowly coming back to seated position. We're gonna bring the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana. I'll come and face you here. So opening the soles of the feet like a book and bringing it to a good distance. If you like the heels of the feet closer to the groin, if that gives you a deeper and better stretch, please do so, whatever feels good in your body. Closing the eyes here, and breathing. And exhale, curling over. It's okay to bend the back over, bringing the feet closer to the face, to the forehead. Feeling that opening in the groin in your Baddha Konasana butterfly pose. Surrendering here in this practice. Thanking yourself for bringing your body to this practice, allowing yourself the time and space to work on your own mind, your own body. There's always so much happening all the time. We need to find and dedicate space and time to breathe and just to be. Inhaling back up and slowly making our way into Shavasana. If you want to keep butterfly legs in Shavasana, you can do so. But if you want your typical Shavasana, flat on the mat, arms and legs spread apart, mat distance, find your solace, gently close the eyes. Letting the breath go, letting the beneficial effects of this practice soak in. Noticing how open the body feels. Noticing the change in the sensations of your body from the beginning of this practice until now. Relaxing the face. Relaxing the space between the eyebrows. And sinking deeper into the mat in your Shavasana. And slowly waking up the body. Wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Rolling out the wrists and the ankles. Taking one deep inhale in through the nose. And exhale, side out through the mouth. Slowly coming up to a seated position facing the front of the mat. Palms on the knees. Hands to heart center. Bowing down, thanking yourself for bringing your loving light and energy into this practice. Thanking your body for being able to take you through this practice with me. And thanking yourself for giving yourself that space to grow and to develop on your own. Namaste. Thanks, everyone.